If you're a big fan of musical films and theater, this article is sure to delight you to the fullest. We've compiled a list of some of the most famous musicals that have pulled in the crowds for years. The Black Crook, played in 1866, is believed to be the first musical. When we're talking musical, we usually refer to either musical theater or musical films. While the former is an amalgamation of music pieces, songs, dialogues, and dance, with the elements of drama, the latter is a genre of motion pictures that incorporate musical sequences as interwoven parts of the thematic narrative. Musicals have garnered tremendous fan following among cinema as well as theater goers, and the cynosure of their appeal lies in the way the story and the central idea is conveyed by resting the dominant part of the narrative and much of the histrionics upon musical effects, songs, and artistic choreography. Musical superhits like Moulin Rouge, The Sound of Music, Chicago, and My Fair Lady have assumed a cult status among lovers of this genre of entertainment, and, in a way, they give you a feel of the bygone era of theater and films, when most of the old-world entertainment churned out by this media used to be in the form of musicals and ballads. Index. Film musicals, theater musicals, famous songs from musicals, famous quotes from musicals. Film musicals. The Smiling Lieutenant, director, Ernst Lubitsch, producer, Ernst Lubitsch, actors, Maurice Chevalier, Claudette Colbert, Miriam Hopkins, music, Oscar Strauss, lyrics, Clifford Gray, released, 1931, running time, 89 minutes, Love Me Tonight, director, Ruben Mamoulian, producer, Ruben Mamoulian, actors, Maurice Chevalier, Jeanette MacDonald, Charles Ruggles, Charles Butterworth, Myrna Loy, music, Richard Rogers, lyrics, Lawrence Hart, released, 1932, running time, 104 minutes, Duck Soup, director, Leo McCarey, producer, Herman J. Mankiewicz, actors, Groucho Marx, Harpomar, Chicomar, Zeppomar, Margaret Dimon, music, Bert Kalmar, Harry Rubb, lyrics, Bert Kalmar, released, 1933, running time, 68 minutes, Gold Diggers of 1933, director, Mervyn Leroy, producer, Robert Lord, Jack L. Warner, actors, Warren William, Joan Blondell, Aline MacMahon, Ruby Keeler, Dick Powell, music, Harry Warren, lyrics, Al Dubin, released, 1933, running time, 96 minutes 40 seconds, Street, director, Lloyd Bacon, Busby Berkeley, producer, Darrell F. Zanuck, actors, Warner Baxter, Ruby Keeler, Dick Powell, Ginger Rogers, music, Harry Warren, lyrics, Al Dubin, released, 1933, running time, 89 minutes, A Night at the Opera, director, Sam Wood, producer, Irving Thalberg, actors, Groucho Marx, Harpomar, Chicomar, Kitty Carlisle, Alan Jones, music, Herbert Stothart, lyrics, Queen, released, 1935, running time, 93 minutes, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, director, David Hand, William Cottrell, Wilfred Jackson, Larry Morey, Perce Pierce, Ben Sharpstein, producer, Walt Disney, actors, Adriana Caselotti, Lucille Laverne, Harry Stockwell, Pinto Colvig, Roy Atwell, music, Frank Churchill, Paul Smith, Lee Harleen, lyrics, Frank Churchill, released, 1938, running time, 83 minutes, The Wizard of Oz, director, Victor Fleming, producer, Mervyn Leroy, actors, Judy Garland, Frank Morga, Ray Bolge, Bertla, Jack Hale, music, Herbert Stothart, Harold Arl, lyrics, E.Y. Harburg, released, 1939, running time, 101 minutes, Hale's a Poppin, director, H.C. Potter, producer, Alex Gottlieb, actors, Ole Olson, Sheik Johnson, music, Frank Skinner, Ted Kane, Charles Previn, lyrics, Sammy Fain, Charles Tobias, released, 1941, running time, 84 minutes, Yankee Doodle Dandy, director, Michael Curtiz, producer, Hal B. Wallace, Jack Warner, actors, James Cagney, Joan Leslie, Walter Huston, Richard Horf, music, George M. Cohan, lyrics, George M. Cohan, released, 1942, running time, 126 minutes, Good News, director, Charles Walters, producer, Arthur Freed, actors, June Allison, Peter Lawford, Patricia Marshall, music, Conrad Salinger, lyrics, Lou Brown, Buddy G. Da Silva released, 1947 running time, 93 minutes. Annie Get Your Gun director, George Sidney producer, Arthur Freed, Roger Eden's actors, Betty Hutton, Howard Keel, Benevenuta music, Irving Berlin lyrics, Irving Berlin released, 1950 running time, 107 minutes. Alice in Wonderland director, Clyde Geronimi, Wilfred Jackson, Hamilton Luske producer, Walt Disney actors, Ed Wynn, Richard Haydn, Sterling Holloway, Jerry Colonna, Verna Felton music, Oliver Wallace lyrics, Bob Hilliard released, 1951 running time, 75 minutes. Singin' in the Rain director, Gene Kelly, Stanley Dunn producer, Arthur Freed actors, Gene Kelly, Donald O'Connell, Debbie Reynolds, Gene Hage, Millard Mitchell music, Nacio Herb Brown lyrics, Arthur Freed released, 1952 running time, 103 minutes. Kiss Me Kate director, George Sidney producer, Jack Cummings actors, Katherine Grayson, Howard Keel, Ann Miller music, Cole Porter lyrics, Cole Porter released, 1953 running time, 109 minutes. A Star Is Born director, George Cukor producer, Sidney Luft actors, Judy Garland, James Mason, Jack Carson, Charles Bickford music, Harold Arlen, Ira Gershwin lyrics, Harold Arlen, Ira Gershwin released, 1954 running time, 176 minutes. Guys and Dolls director, Joseph L. Mankiewicz producer, Samuel Goldwyn actors, Marlon Brando, Gene Simmons, Frank Sinatra, Vivian Blaine, Stubby Key, Regis Toomey music, Frank Lesser lyrics, Frank Lesser released, 1955 running time, 150 minutes. The Court Jester director, Melvin Frank, Norman Panama producer, Melvin Frank, Norman Panama actors, Danny Key, Glynis Johns, Basil Rathbone, Angela Lansbury, Cecil Parker music, Vic Schoen lyrics, Vic Schoen released, 1956 running time, 101 minutes. The King and I director, Walter Lang producer, Charles Brackett actors, Deborah Kerr, Yul Brynner, Rita Moreno, Martin Benson, Rex Thompson music, Richard Rogers lyrics, Pogo released, 1956 running time, 133 minutes. Damn Yankees director, George Abbott, Stanley Donen producer, George Abbott, Stanley Donen actors, Tab Hunter, Gwen Verdon, Ray Walston music, Richard Adler, Jerry Ross lyrics, Jerry Ross released, 1958 running time, 111 minutes. West Side Story director, Robert Wise, Jerome Robbins producer, Robert Wise actors, Natalie Wood, Richard Beymer, Rita Moreno, George Chakiris, Russ Tamblyn music, Leonard Bernstein lyrics, Leonard Bernstein released, 1961 running time, 152 minutes. The Music Man director, Morton DaCosta producer, Morton DaCosta actors, Robert Preston, Shirley Jones, Buddy Hackett, Hermione Gingold, Paul Ford music, Meredith Wilson lyrics, Meredith Wilson released, 1962 running time, 151 minutes. My Fair Lady director, George Cukor producer, Jack Warner actors, Audrey Hepburn, Rex Harrison, Stanley Holloway, Wilfred Hyde White, Gladys Cooper music, Frederick Lowe lyrics, Alan J. Lerner released, 1964 running time, 170 minutes. The Umbrellas of Cherbourg director, Jacques Demy producer, Meg Bodard actors, Catherine Deneuve, Nino Castelnuovo music, Michel Legrand lyrics, Norman Gimbel released, 1964 running time, 91 minutes. Mary Poppins director, Robert Stevenson producer, Walt Disney actors, Julie Andrews, Dick Van Dyke, David Tomlinson, Glynis Johns music, Richard M. Sherman, Robert B. Sherman lyrics, Richard M. Sherman, Robert B. Sherman released, 1964 running time, 139 minutes. The Sound of Music director, Robert Wise producer, Robert Wise actors, Julie Andrews, Christopher Plummer music, Richard Rogers lyrics, Oscar Hammerstein II released, 1965 running time, 174 minutes. The Jungle Book director, Wolfgang Reitherman producer, Walt Disney actors, Phil Harris, Sebastian Cabot, Louis Prima, George Sanders, Sterling Holloway music, George Bruns, Terry Gilkyson, Richard M. Sherman, Robert B. Sherman lyrics, Richard M. Sherman, Robert B. Sherman, Terry Gilkyson released, 1967 running time, 78 minutes. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang director, Ken Hughes producer, Albert R. Broccoli actors, Dick Van Dyke, Sally Ann Howes, Adrian Hall, Heather Ripley, Lionel Jeffries music, Richard M. Sherman, Robert B. Sherman lyrics, Richard M. Sherman, Robert B. Sherman released, 1968 running time, 144 minutes. Funny Girl director, William Wyler producer, Ray Stark actors, Barbra Streisand, Omar Sharif, Kay Medford music, Jules Stein lyrics, Bob Merrill released, 1968 running time, 155 minutes. Oliver director, Carol Reed producer, John Wolfe actors, Mark Lester, Ron Moody, Shani Wallace, Oliver Reed, Jack Wilde music, Lionel Bart, Johnny Green, Eric Rogers, Anna White lyrics, Lionel Bart released, 1968 running time, 153 minutes. Hello, Dolly director, Gene Kelly producer, Ernest Lehman actors, Barbra Streisand, Walter Matthau, Michael Crawford, Marianne McAndrew, E.J. Peaker music, Jerry Herman lyrics, Jerry Herman released, 1969 running time, 148 minutes. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory director, Mel Stewart producer, Stan Margulies, David L. Wolper actors, Gene Wilder, Jack Albertson, Peter Ostrom, Roy Kinnear, Denise Nickerson music, Leslie Bricusse, Anthony Newley lyrics, Pure Imagination released, 1971 running time, 100 minutes. Man of La Mancha director, Arthur Hiller producer, Arthur Hiller, Saul Chaplin, Alberto Grimaldi actors, Peter O'Toole, Sophia Loren, James Coco, Harry Andrews, John Castle, Ian Richardson music, Mitch Lee lyrics, Joe Darian released, 1972 running time, 132 minutes. 1776 director, Peter H. Hunt producer, Jack L. Warner actors, William Daniels, Howard Da Silva, Ken Howard, Donald Madden, John Cullum music, Sherman Edwards lyrics, Sherman Edwards released, 1972 running time, 141 minutes. Jesus Christ Superstar director, Norman Jewison producer, Norman Jewison, Robert Stigwood actors, Ted Neely, Carl Anderson, Yvonne Elliman, Barry Dennen music, Andrew Lloyd Webber lyrics, Tim Rice released, 1973 running time, 106 minutes. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh director, John Lounsbury, Wolfgang Reitherman producer, Wolfgang Reitherman actors, Sterling Holloway, John Fiedler, Junius Matthews, Paul Winchell, Howard Morris music, Richard M. Sherman, Robert B. Sherman, Buddy Baker lyrics, Richard M. Sherman, Robert B. Sherman released, 1977 running time, 74 minutes. Grease director, Randall Kleiser producer, Robert Stigwood, Alan Carr actors, John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John, Stockard Channing, Jeff Conaway music, Jim Jacobs, Warren Casey lyrics, John Ferrara released, 1978 running time, 110 minutes. The Wiz director, Sidney Lumet producer, Rob Cohen actors, Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, Nipsey Russell, Ted Ross, Lena Horne, Richard Pryor music, Charlie Smalls, Nicholas Ashford, Valerie Simpson, Anthony Jackson, Luther Vandross, Quincy Jones lyrics, Charlie Smalls released, 1978 running time, 134 minutes. The Blues Brothers director, John Landis producer, Bernie Brillstein, George Folsey, Jr., David Sosna, Robert K. Wise actors, John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd music, Ira Newborn lyrics, Blues Brothers released, 1980 running time, 133 minutes. The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas director, Colin Higgins producer, Colin Higgins actors, Burt Reynolds, Dolly Parton music, Carol Hall, Patrick Williams lyrics, Carol Hall released, 1982 running time, 114 minutes. Beauty and the Beast director, Gary Trustdale, Kirk Wise producer, Don Hahn actors, Paige O'Hara, Robbie Benson, Richard White, Jerry Orbach, David Stiers music, Alan Menken lyrics, Howard Ashman released, 1991 running time, 90 minutes. Aladdin director, Ron Clements, John Musker producer, Ron Clements, John Musker actors, Scott Weinger, Jonathan Freeman, Robin Williams, Linda Larkin, Frank Welker music, Alan Menken lyrics, Howard Ashman released, 1992 running time, 90 minutes. The Lion King director, Roger Allers, Rob Minkoff producer, Don Hahn actors, Matthew Broderick, James Earl Jones, Jeremy Irons, Jonathan Thomas, Moira Kelly music, Hans Zimmer lyrics, Tim Rice released, 1994 running time, 88 minutes. Evita director, Alan Parker producer, Alan Parker, Robert Stigwood, Andrew G. Vina actors, Madonna, Antonio Banderas, Jonathan Price, Jimmy Nail music, Andrew Lloyd Webber lyrics, Tim Rice released, 1996 running time, 134 minutes. Moulin Rouge director, Baz Luhrmann producer, Fred Barron, Martin Brown, Baz Luhrmann actors, Nicole Kidman, Ewan McGregor, Jim Broadbent, Richard Roxburgh, John Leguizamo music, Craig Armstrong lyrics, Craig Armstrong released, 2001 running time, 128 minutes. Chicago director, Rob Marshall producer, Martin Richards actors, Renee Zellweger, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Richard Gere, Queen Latifah, John C. Reilly music, Danny Elfman lyrics, Dorothy Fields released, 2002 running time, 113 minutes. The Phantom of the Opera director, Joel Schumacher producer, Andrew Lloyd Webber actors, Gerard Butler, Emmy Rossum, Patrick Wilson, Miranda Richardson, Minnie Driver music, Andrew Lloyd Webber lyrics, Charles Hart released, 2004 running time, 143 minutes. The Producers director, Susan Stroman producer, Mel Brooks actors, Nathan Lane, Matthew Broderick, Uma Thurman, Will Ferrell music, Mel Brooks, Thomas Meehan lyrics, Mel Brooks released, 2005 running time, 134 minutes. Dreamgirls director, Bill Condon producer, Lawrence Mark actors, Jamie Foxx, Beyonce Knowles, Eddie Murphy, Danny Glover, Anna Kanani Rose music, Stephen Trask lyrics, Sita Garrett, Anne Previn released, 2006 running time, 130 minutes. Hairspray director, Adam Shankman producer, Craig Zodden, Neil Moran actors, John Travolta, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken, Amanda Bynes, James Marsden music, Mark Shaman lyrics, Scott Whitman, Mark Shaman released, 2007 running time, 116 minutes. Mamma Mia director, Philly Deloyd producer, Judy Kramer, Gary Goetzman actors, Meryl Streep, Pierce Brosnan, Colin Firth, Stellan Skarsgård, Julie Walters, Dominic Cooper, Amanda Seyfried, Christine Baranski music, ABBA lyrics, ABBA released, 2008 running time, 109 minutes. Tangled director, Nathan Greno, Byron Howard producer, Roy Conley, John Lasseter, Glenn Keane actors, Mandy Moore, Zachary Levi, Donna Murphy music, Alan Menken lyrics, Glenn Slater released, 2010 running time, 100 minutes. Les Miserables director, Tom Hooper producer, Tim Bevan, Eric Fellner, Deborah Hayward, Cameron McIntosh actors, Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Anne Hathaway, Amanda Seyfried music, Claude Michel Schonberg lyrics, Claude Michel Schonberg released, 2012 running time, 158 minutes. Jersey Boys director, Clint Eastwood producer, Clint Eastwood actors, John Lloyd Young, Eric Bergen, Michael Lamenda, Vincent Piazza, Christopher Walken. Music, Bob Gaudio lyrics, Bob Crew released, 2014 running time, 134 minutes. Theater musicals. Showboat music, Jerome Kern lyrics, Oscar Hammerstein II, P.G. Wodehouse opening, 1927 Anything Goes Music, Cole Porter lyrics, Cole Porter opening. 1934 Me and My Girl music, Noel Gay lyrics, Douglas Ferber, L. Arthur Rose opening. 1927 Pins and Needles music, Harold Rome lyrics, Harold Rome opening. 1937 Hails a Poppin' music, Sammy Fain, Charles Tobias lyrics, Sammy Fain, Charles Tobias opening. 1927 Oklahoma music, Richard Rogers lyrics, Oscar Hammerstein II opening. 1943 Annie Get Your Gun music, Irving Berlin lyrics, Irving Berlin opening. 1927 Kiss Me, Kate music, Cole Porter lyrics, Cole Porter opening. 1948 South Pacific music, Richard Rogers lyrics, Oscar Hammerstein II opening. 1927 Guys and Dolls music, Frank Lesser lyrics, Frank Lesser opening. 1950 The King and I music, Richard Rogers lyrics, Oscar Hammerstein II opening. 1927 The Pajama Game music, Richard Adler, Jerry Ross lyrics, Richard Adler, Jerry Ross opening. 1954 Damn Yankees music, Richard Adler lyrics, Jerry Ross opening. 1927 My Fair Lady music, Frederick Lowe lyrics, Alan J. Lerner opening. 1956 The Music Man music, Meredith Wilson lyrics, Meredith Wilson opening. 1927 West Side Story music, Leonard Bernstein lyrics, Stephen Sondheim opening. 1957 The Sound of Music music, Richard Rogers lyrics, Oscar Hammerstein II opening. 1927 The Fantastics music, Harvey Schmidt lyrics, Tom Jones opening. 1960 Oliver music, Lionel Bart lyrics, Lionel Bart opening. 1927 How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying music, Frank Lesser lyrics, Frank Lesser opening. 1961 Fiddler on the Roof music, Jerry Bach lyrics, Sheldon Harnick opening. 1927 Funny Girl music, Jules Stein lyrics, Bob Merrill opening. 1964 Hello, Dolly music, Jerry Herman lyrics, Jerry Herman opening. 1927 Man of La Mancha music, Mitch Lee lyrics, Joe Darian opening. 1964 Cabaret music, John Kander lyrics, Fred Ebb opening. 1927 May music, Jerry Herman lyrics, Jerry Herman opening. 1966 Hair music, Galt McDermott lyrics, James Rado, Garen Ragney opening. 1927 Promises, Promises music, Burt Bacharach lyrics, Hal David opening. 1968 1776 music, Sherman Edwards lyrics, Sherman Edwards opening. 1927 Oh, Calcutta music, Peter Schickel, Robert Dennis, Stanley Walden lyrics, Peter Schickel, Robert Dennis, Stanley Walden opening. 1969 Jesus Christ Superstar music, Andrew Lloyd Webber lyrics, Tim Rice opening. 1927 Don't Bother Me, I Can't Cope music, Mickey Grant lyrics, Mickey Grant opening. 1971 Grease music, Jim Jacobs, Warren Casey lyrics, Jim Jacobs, Warren Casey opening. 1927 Pippin music, Stephen Schwartz lyrics, Stephen Schwartz opening. 1972 Shenandoah music, Gary Geld lyrics, Peter Udall opening. 1927 The Magic Show music, Stephen Schwartz lyrics, Stephen Schwartz opening. 1974 The Wiz music, Charlie Smalls, Timothy Grab Henried, Harold Wheeler, Luther Vandross lyrics, Charlie Smalls, Zachary Walzer, Luther Vandross opening. 1927 A Chorus Line music, Marvin Hamlish lyrics, Edward Kleben opening. 1975 Chicago music, John Kander lyrics, Fred Ebb opening. 1927 Annie music, Charles Strauss lyrics, Martin Charnin opening. 1977 Ain't Misbehavin' music, Fats Waller lyrics, various artists opening. 1927 Dancing music, various artists lyrics, various artists opening. 1978 Evita music, Andrew Lloyd Webber lyrics, Tim Rice opening. 1927 The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas music, Carol Hall lyrics, Carol Hall opening. 1978 They're Playing Our Song music, Marvin Hamlish lyrics. Carol Bayer Sager opening. 1927 Sugar Babies music. Jimmy McHugh lyrics. Dorothy Fields. Al Dubin opening. 1979 42nd Street music. Harry Warren lyrics. Al Dubin opening. 1927 Cats music. Andrew Lloyd Webber lyrics. T.S. Eliot opening. 1980 Les Miserables music. Claude Michel Schoenberg lyrics. Alain Bublisle, Jean-Marc Natel, Herbert Kretzmer opening. 1927 Dream Girls music. Henry Krieger lyrics. Tom Mine opening. 1981 Lucky Joe Foles music. Jerry Herman lyrics. Jerry Herman opening. 1927 Blood Brothers music. Willie Russell lyrics. Willie Russell opening. 1983 Starlight Express music. Andrew Lloyd Webber lyrics. Richard Stilgoe opening. 1927 Big River music. Roger Miller lyrics. Roger Miller opening. 1985 The Phantom of the Opera music. Andrew Lloyd Webber lyrics. Charles Hart opening. 1927 Grand Hotel music. Robert Wright. George Forrest. Maury Yeston lyrics. Robert Wright. George Forrest. Maury Yeston opening. 1989 Miss Saigon music. Claude Michel Schoenberg lyrics. Alain Bublisle. Richard Maltby Jr. opening. 1927 Buddy. The Buddy Holly Story music. Various artists lyrics. Various artists opening. 1989 Jekyll and Hyde music. Frank Wildhorn lyrics. Frank Wildhorn. Leslie Bricusse. Steve Cudden opening. 1927 Crazy for You music. George Gershwin lyrics. Ira Gershwin opening. 1992 Beauty and the Beast music. Alan Menken lyrics. Howard Ashman. Tim Rice opening. 1927 Red music. Jonathan Larson lyrics. Jonathan Larson opening. 1993 Smokey Joe's Cafe music. Jerry Lieber. Mike Stoller lyrics. Jerry Lieber. Mike Stoller opening. 1927 The Lion King music. Elton John lyrics. Tim Rice opening. 1997 Aida music. Elton John lyrics. Tim Rice opening. 1927 Mamma Mia music. Bjorn Ulvaeus. Benny Andersson lyrics. Bjorn Ulvaeus. Benny Andersson. Stig Andersson opening. 1999 The Producers music. Mel Brooks lyrics. Mel Brooks opening. 1927 Bombay Dreams music. Arkansas Ramen lyrics. Don Black opening. 2002 Chitty Chitty Bang Bang music. Richard M. Sherman. Robert B. Sherman lyrics. Richard M. Sherman. Robert B. Sherman opening. 1927 Hairspray music. Mark Shaman lyrics. Scott Whitman. Mark Shaman opening. 2002 Movin' Out music. Billy Joel lyrics. Billy Joel opening. 1927 Memphis music. David Bryan lyrics. David Bryan. Jody Pietro opening. 2002 We Will Rock You music. Queen lyrics. Queen opening. 1927 Avenue Q music. Robert Lopez. Jeff Marr lyrics. Robert Lopez. Jeff Marks opening. 2003 Wicked music. Stephen Schwartz lyrics. Stephen Schwartz opening. 1927 Mary Poppins music. Robert B. Sherman. Richard M. Sherman. George Stiles lyrics. Robert B. Sherman. Richard M. Sherman. Anthony Drew opening. 2004 Spamalot music. John Duprez. Eric Idle. Neil Innes lyrics. Eric Idle opening. 1927 The 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee music. William Finn lyrics. William Finn opening. 2004 Dirty Rotten Scoundrels music. David Yazbek lyrics. David Yazbek opening. 1927 Jersey Boys music. Bob Gaudio lyrics. Bob Gaudio opening. 2005 Lestat music. Elton John lyrics. Bernie Taupin opening. 1927 Billy Elliot the musical music. Elton John lyrics. Lee Hall opening. 2005 Rock of Ages music. Various artists lyrics. Various artists opening. 1927 In the Heights music. Lin-Manuel Miranda lyrics. Lin-Manuel Miranda opening. 2007 Spider-Man. Turn Off the Dark music. Bono and the Edge lyrics. Bono and the Edge opening. 1927 The Book of Mormon music. Trey Parker. Robert Lopez. Matt Stone lyrics. Trey Parker. Robert Lopez. Matt Stone opening, 2011. Back to Index. Famous songs from musicals. Summer Nights, Grease, He Lives in You, The Lion King, Defying Gravity, Wicked, Maybe Annie, Tomorrow, Annie, A Change in Me, Beauty and the Beast, That's What Friends Are For, The Jungle Book, Hakuna Matata, The Lion King, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, Evita, Why Can't the English? My Fair Lady, All I Ask of You, The Phantom of the Opera, I Dreamed a Dream, Les Miserables, For Good, Wicked, Dulcinea, Man of La Mancha, If I Can't Love Her, Beauty and the Beast from the Dead, Lestat, Welcome to the New World, Lestat, One Day I'll Fly Away, Moulin Rouge. Back to Index. Famous quotes from musicals. To love another person is to see the face of God. Les Miserables, Forget Regret, or Life is Yours to Miss. Rent, Never take a stranger's advice, never let a friend fool you twice. Nobody's on nobody's side. Chess, I wasn't looking, look what I found. Thoroughly Modern Millie, I ain't got nothing, so I ain't got nothing to lose. There's gold in them there hills, and I'm gonna get it or die trying. Thoroughly Modern Millie, don't be afraid that it won't be perfect. The only thing to be afraid of really is that it won't be. Company. Musicals open the windows of the soul with their melodious renditions of the most intricate and poignant human emotions. Coupled with the narrative beauty, skillful performances, and the depth of artistic flair, musicals are the perfect getaways for those minds that seek enchanting escapades upon the wings of imagination and drama, that are not devoid of some intellectual feathers either.